Hello! Welcome back to the Dream Printing Podcast. I am so excited for today's episode. It was a request from a comment on YouTube, and the request was, how did you leave your 9 to 5? What was the journey like? How did you know when you could quit? You could do this full time. Please tell me how you did it. I cannot wait. It's a great question, and I want to make sure you do it in a way that you're totally ready. It's not that stressful. It's exciting, because it's definitely going to be exciting, but you're set up for success. You don't want to jump too soon and just, flop. Like, I just don't want that for you. I want you to have a successful launch into entrepreneurship. So I'm going to share with you when I decided I wanted to go full time into Horacio Printing, and what my journey was like, what the transition was like. And then I'm going to tell you my keys to success and what I would tell you if we sat down at a coffee shop and had a cup of coffee. So grab your coffee. Feel free to pause this. Grab your coffee, grab a journal, and I'll tell you the story. Okay, so let me tell you the full story. So I was working at a company called Triple Lift, which was an amazing company, native advertising. My background is PR and marketing advertising. And so I was living in New York and started Horacio Printing in around October 2014, which I tell the story of how I started my business on the podcast if you want to go back and check out that episode. But really the dream, when I started the company, I wasn't like dead set that I have to quit my job one day and do this full time. I really started Horacio Printing with just the joy and excitement of creating my first dream planner that I wanted to make for me. And we sold out that first year. We sold 1,000 planners. And then I bought my next round of planners through Kickstarter, which I tell that whole story in my workshop. If you want to come to my workshop, horacioprinting.com/workshop. It's great. But I had the dream to start a business, but I wasn't really dreaming hardcore, like I have to go super fast into this. I was happy to take my time. I liked my salary. I liked my coworkers. I liked my job, honestly, and it paid really well. And so I didn't really want to lose all of that. Especially the first year. Like the first year we made 38 grand on our planners, which was great, but that wasn't really going to help me live in New York after expenses. And so I had some mentors in my life, which is really important, that really kind of helped me process all of this. And so one of them was a Tony Robbins business coach. One of them was a sales coach. And we did monthly calls, which is really important to have people in your corner that can kind of support you and help you process this. And I'll be that for you today. But I really just felt there was a moment at a meeting, I remember like it was yesterday, and there was a moment in the meeting at the office that I just decided, I gotta leave. Like, this is not for me anymore. I'm not designed to be here. And another reason why this sparked for me this dream was when I was working at Triple Lift and I had Horacio Printing as my side hustle, which, by the way, if you don't know anything about Horacio Printing, we create dream planners, devotionals, Bible studies. I've sold over 47,000 of these around the world. And so that's my business that I started. And I remember I'd work in the evenings and I would work on the weekends on Horacio. And then during my regular business hours, I would work on my regular business job. And I would dedicate my Saturdays to working on my business because it was fun. It was like my baby. It was my passion project. I loved it. And it was such a fun day. I remember I had a little office set up in my New York apartment, and I would get up and have coffee. I'd make a smoothie. I'd read my Bible for an hour, and then I would work. And it was just creative work that lit me up. And some of it was not so fun, but a lot of it was fun. It was new and I was learning things. And it was rewarding, like hearing the customers and their breakthroughs and like the things that God was doing in their life from the product that I made. It was just bizarre. And I remember saying this to my husband. I said, I can't wait until my Saturday is my Monday. I cannot wait until my Saturdays, my Monday, 'cause my Saturdays are so special working on my business. And that's really where the dream started. I was like, I want to have my Saturday be my Monday, and then I want to have my Saturday back where I'm like not working at all. And so that's really where the dream ignited. And so I started planning for that. I had some meetings with my company. We started talking about, well, maybe I'll work part-time and, what should I do? And I talked to some mentors and they really walked me through the step of it. But I ended up completely resigning and starting to work for myself. And I'll tell you how I did that in the next steps, because I'm going to tell you my advice, and it's the same advice that I got. So I'll be sharing the same advice and how I did this. I went through the process. But the transition was beautiful. It was exciting. It was nerve-wracking, of course. It was scary, but it was just so exciting. The idea that this is my next step, but it doesn't have to be forever. So let me just go ahead and dive into my keys to transitioning successfully so you can create your escape. And as I go through these steps, I'll kind of share with you how I did it as well, because these were taught to me. Okay, so the first thing that I did in planning my escape was I saved up 3 to 6 months of expenses. Now that might be kind of crazy. Now I didn't save up, I wasn't worried about fully replacing my salary, but I wanted to have at least the minimum to live, right? And I didn't really care about fully replacing my salary. I wanted to do this so bad. I was willing to cut out some of the fun money I had. I stopped getting eyelash extensions. I stopped doing certain things. I was like, maybe I'll dye my hair dark so I don't have to keep dyeing it blonde. So I went dark with my hair, and I just did things because at the time I just didn't care. It was really all I wanted was for this to be my full-time job and for me to pursue this creative path. And so I saved up 3 to 6 months of expenses, and this was a really important financial safety net. Because if you quit your job and you are expecting this creative endeavor to immediately pay your bills and immediately grow exponentially, you are setting yourself up for so much stress, and you can't really be creative under so much stress. You need to have freedom and breathing room so you can enjoy it, have fun with it, and not be overly stressed about trying to sell, we got to get this stuff out there, I got to make money. You don't want to be in that position. So taking your time to save up your expenses so that you have a good cushion of 3 to 6 months of your own salary for your life. And so that's what I did. I saved up my salary because as Dave Ramsey would say, when you are jumping off the dock into the boat of entrepreneurship, you want to wait till you want to wait till the boat reaches the dock. If not, you'll jump into the water and get all wet. You want to wait till the boat hits the dock. And so that's the huge first step. The second step that's important is plan for your healthcare costs. As you're saving that money, one thing you're going to lose when you quit your job is healthcare benefits. Now, if you're married and your husband has healthcare plan with his job, you could probably just jump onto his healthcare plan, but you want to start making preparations for that. You have to notify his company. You have to give them your information. So you don't really want to have a lapse in healthcare. And so you want to set up your healthcare. Now, there are, the marketplace.gov. There's also some cheaper, if you don't think you're going to have that many problems and you're not in the age of giving birth or big expensive healthcare costs, you could use a company I think it's called Christian Medishare. Some of those have really, really affordable monthly payment options, but you want to make sure that you are covering your healthcare costs. Number 3 is you want to make sure your business is set up to start paying you a minimum salary. Even if it's all right, I'm just going to be paying myself $1,500 a month or $2,000 a month or $1,000 a month or $3,000 a month. My business is currently set up and it's grown to a place where it can make that much profit that passes through to me. Now, what I do for my finances is my company is run on the profit first marketing plan. And so that allows me to see how much money per month that comes into my business is allocated towards taxes, how much is allocated towards operational expenses, how much is allocated towards owner's compensation, how much is allocated to profit, and how much is allocated to future inventory purchases. Because you can't just bleed all the money out of your business. If you're a product-based business, you have to squirrel away some acorns so you can buy your next product line. And so it's important that you know those percentages, and that really helps you kind of make those decisions of like, how much can I spend on employees? Like it answers that for you. And a great resource for that is Profit First. And I do go over this in my course, The Faith-Filled Business Blueprint. And I also quickly cover it a little bit in Print School. But you want to make sure that the business has grown to a place of financial stability where you can pay yourself at least something. And the goal is by the end of the 4 months that it's grown to a place that fully pays your minimum salaries, because you don't want to drain all of that savings that you saved up. Now, number 4 is give it your all for 4 months. Once you quit, go all in. Go for it. Go for 4 months. This was the advice given to me. It was like, well, actually, I think she said 6 months, but she was like, go for it 6 months, give it your all, do full-time work, full heart, full time. And if it's not successful, guess what? You can go get a job. Like you can go right back to the field that you left. You're just as qualified. You're just as skilled. You can get another job. And so just knowing that, like, I'm going to give it a shot. And if it doesn't work out, I'll come back to another job. Like your life isn't over when you quit your job. The company you left might say, hey, you know what? We'd love to have you back, or maybe you'll go to another company and make a better salary, like that's totally fine. And so I think it's just important to know that this doesn't have to be an all or nothing. Like if you fail, your life is over, like if it doesn't grow enough, you can absolutely go back to the career field and the career path that you were in. This can just be, we're going to try this out, and have fun with it. And number 5, the last step that I definitely would recommend is build a support system. You're going to need a support system. You're going to need either a mastermind group or a mentor, a community, which is one of the reasons I love Print School and our private community that we have for all the students. This is a place where other people are making their dreams come true in the exact same field that I'm in, which is, planners, journals, devotionals. You want to make sure that you've got people that are like-minded, that are flaming your heart flame. There will be people in your life that when you're quitting your job and taking this full time, they're going to try to stop you. They're going to say, I don't think that's a good idea. And they're doing that because they love you. But when you step out of your comfort zone, you disrupt their comfort zone. And so you have to be careful with who you share stuff with, who are you constantly going to for support? Because you might have to shift that. The person that you normally would call every day or every other day might not be the person you call now as you're going through this transition. So be prepared for that. That's totally normal. It's very common. And you'll just have to kind of shift a little bit of what you're doing. So those are my main steps. The other big thing that you're going to have to look at is your time management. When you're saving up that 3 to 6 months of expenses, you're going to have to be really, really strict with your boundaries and what you say yes to in this season as you're planning your escape plan. You have to be very strict on, I highly recommend like cutting out TV, cutting out certain entertainment things, because you're going to need more time to invest into that business so that it can grow and get to a place that it supports you and it's fun and it's functioning. And then when you quit and you go full time, you're also going to have to be effective with your time management. You're going to have a place in your home where you can work, or a place, maybe renting a space at a co-working space or something like that. A place that you can be productive and focused. And you're going to have to set up a boundary. Like right now, I'm working on my business. I'm not doing laundry and playing around in my house and cleaning and stuff. Like, I'm here to do this work. And so you'll have to also set up those boundaries with your time management, which is why you need a planner, right? You might be building one in your business. So super exciting. You're probably already kind of a planner kind of person if you're here watching this video. So the last thing I did want to share that's important to do, something to consider after you've made the move and you've quit your job, is you're going to want to shift your retirement strategy. If you currently have a job that maybe you have a 401k at your job, maybe they're matching and they're taking money out of your paycheck and putting it into that, you're going to need to plan your retirement differently as a small business owner, and you need to get started soon. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to reach out to the company that you're leaving and get all of the information for your 401k, and you're going to want to roll it over into an IRA. So I would talk to a financial advisor. You can look up the financial advisors that Dave Ramsey recommends, or you can do a self-managed IRA at Fidelity or Vanguard. By the way, I'm not giving you financial advice, but you're going to want to take that money that you've saved up in your 401k and roll it over so that you can keep tucking money into it and have that be part of your business goals. You want your business to start funding your retirement in the same way that your job is currently doing if you have a 401k. So you're going to want to roll that over into either a traditional IRA. If you can qualify for a Roth IRA, that would be even better, because Roth, you don't get taxed when you take it out at retirement age. A SEP IRA is really great too. That's a self-employed IRA, which I think you could potentially qualify for all three of those. You can put more money into a SEP IRA. So if you can roll into a Roth, though, that would be the number one choice. And then you can annually give and max out that Roth. And then you can always open up an additional IRA down the road if you have a lot of profit that you want to pump into it. So that's something to think about, because for me, I did not think about that for like 10 years. And I was like, I'm not doing anything for retirement. Like, I should probably think about that. And so that's definitely something that I wanted to share, that I've learned in my journey, that you don't have to do it the wrong way, because I did. It's okay. We'll be okay. So anyways, that's my lesson for you. I wanted to share with you the keys to transitioning successfully. I hope this resonated. Let me know if you have any questions. Pop them into the comments below. But yeah, here we are almost 10 years later. We grew the business, which, by the way, when I did quit my job in February of 2016, December of 2015 was our first 50K month, which is one of the main reasons I was like, I think I can start quitting my job now. It was like, I think we're doing pretty good. And so that was really a big catalyst of like, I think it's time. But it's going to be different for everybody and every journey. And I just wish you the best of luck, and I wish you abundance and God's grace and provision. And let me know if you have any questions. If you want to dive into print school, just head over to horacioprinting.com/print school. I would love to see you over there. Have a wonderful day. You are so loved.